So hi guys, it's Christian. It's day 24 of Vlog Every Day in August, over 40, fat to fit. So I have not vlogged every day in August. As I've said, it's been quite a disrupted month because of family stuff, mum, that kind of thing. But also it's been a really busy work month and something has to give somewhere. So anyway, that's fine. I'm not going to beat myself up on that. Anyway, I said a couple of days ago that I didn't really have clarity on my goals, and for me there is this thing of I'm an executive coach. I've been a life coach for the best part of 18 years now, amongst all the other things I've done. But I've always worked in kind of the people business, and so I have kind of made it my life's work so far to really look at how people tick that kind of stuff. And whilst I wouldn't necessarily say I'm an expert, I kind of hopefully have some insight around kind of how to coach people, that kind of thing. And one of the things I know is that when life happens all the time, life just gets in the way all the time, and it's then about how we respond to that. And having a goal or a what goal, which is, you know, an outcome or something like that, but also having the why behind the what, why that goal is important. Having really strong whys are really important. And when you know what the why is, you can define the what, and then when you've got the what, you can define the strategy and the plan and all that kind of stuff. So I said a couple of days ago I wasn't sure I had to measure the goals I wanted and all that kind of thing, and was getting very confused and wanted meaningful goals, not just weight loss, that kind of stuff. Well, I had an amazing coaching session tonight with my coach. My coach is a woman called Gina Rabbin, Rabbin. You can find her at ginarabbin.com, and her tagline is a catalyst for clarity. She's not a conventional coach by any standards, but she always helps me get clarity. And we kind of took this to a bigger picture. I'm a big picture kind of guy, and so we took this to a much bigger picture. And a big part of this for me is, obviously, this month has been looking at and helping mum cope with some of the changes she's going through with aging. And I turned 45 in May, and I had this kind of realization in May. I started to kind of feel my own sense of mortality, if you like, not in any great way, but that kind of sense of, I had this internal sense of that I'd entered into the second half of my life. And that felt both very liberating, but I also became aware of this notion that I had more days behind me than in front of me. And I don't love that. My dad died at 71. So my dad had been fairly healthy all his life, in most physical senses, but unfortunately my family genetics aren't great. And, you know, my mum is 71 now, and she's dealing with a lot of health challenges. So I was joking with her last week that, you know, if I look at my pure family genetics, I'm kind of messed up, because on my dad's side, my dad had Parkinson's, and also was bipolar. And I've certainly suffered from various forms of depression over the years. On my mum's side, my nan had rheumatoid arthritis, and that runs in the family. There has been some cancer in the family. There is some kind of osteoporosis, osteopenia, so that's bone weakness because of decalcification or something like that. But basically, so I joked that I'm going to be crippled, shaky, and mental. Well, might have the mental bit right now. So as I was talking this through with Gina, it's like 71 years old. You know, my mum is at the age now where dad was when he died, and, you know, touch wood, mum's got loads of time in front of her. But for me, 71 feels like it still feels really young to me. It feels like it should be almost midlife or the start of midlife. And the truth of the matter is, we're starting to make medical and genetic breakthroughs that mean we will be able to live longer. I've talked about LifeVantage before. You know, there are studies there that show that NRF1 and NRF2 activation, which is what the Protandim 1 and 2 do, actually do crack the aging code, as it were, and they can actually bring back levels of aging. And so, you know, that opens up all sorts of possibilities. But I think so. There's a lot of wandering here. I'm almost at 5 minutes, but there's a lot of stuff here about I don't want to be the slave to my genetics, and also I want to live a really long life, but I want to live a really long healthy life. So you know what, so in terms of getting clear, what I don't want is to be dying young. I don't want to be living a longer life but having no quality or functionality. I want to have, I don't want to kind of have a passive life. Life is for the living, and actually, there's a thing called the Enneagram out there. Look it up. I'm an Enneagram 7. It's called the Epicure. So for me, it's all about experiencing life. And I really, that's what I want to do. I don't want to have a sedentary passive life, or a small life for that matter. So the bigger why is I want to feel in my physical vehicle. I've spent a lot of time studying the mental and the spiritual, and I know a lot about it, but that's not enough. I've ignored my physical vehicle for a very long time. So I want to feel more vibrant. I want to feel more energy. I want to feel that health in my body. I want to feel aligned in my body. I also want to know that what I'm doing from a holistic point of view is not only helping me to live longer, but to have a better quality of life and having more functionality to later in my life. I want to have the energy to do all the things I want to do. And, frankly, to use a Steve Jobs system, I've always wanted to put my version of a dent in the universe. Mavericks Unlimited is part of mine and John and Hass's legacy around helping people make their impact. Well, this is part of mine, and I want to have the energy and the physicality to do that in a much bigger way than I've done right now. So that's kind of thing me. So the next step for me is those nice generalisms. So it's now kind of putting that into, I need to work these through to put them into some specifics. So how do I know that I've got more energy and vitality? How do I know that I'm stronger? How do I know that the nutrition I'm using is supporting me living longer, that kind of stuff. So the specifics there. From there I can build out a plan. Planning is not the issue. It's knowing what the specific goals are, the as indicated, vitality as indicated by X, Y, Z, knowing what those are, and having that why behind it and keeping that really present, because the why is what keeps us going through what we call the messy middle, or the dangerous in between. So that place where you set a goal, you don't have the momentum of the beginning and the beginner's mindset, but equally you're not so close to the goal that energy is pulling you. It's that bit in the middle where we get stuck in the mire. So having that why is really important, and for me that is about not being a slave to my genetics. And we have the ability to shift genetics, not just medically, but through nutrigenomics, through epigenetics and the effect of that, so through phenotype. So for me, that's LifeVantage, that's pH360, that's some of the nootropic stuff that I'm looking at. And I'm really fascinated by this. So there's kind of biohacking the aging code, biohacking the physical state. I'm really interested in the work of people like Tim Ferriss and Dave Asprey as well. So that's really what I'm pushing at. So my next step right now, I know this is a much longer video than I've been making, but my next step now is I'm going to the gym now, and I'm going to watch some videos on some of this hacking the aging code, some of the stuff around LifeVantage. So I'm going to watch some of that to get on that. David is being an absolute star and cooking dinner for us tonight, and that's kind of where it's at right now. So I will talk more about that later. So this is becoming a familiar sight, but I hadn't been to the gym for 2 days, so I'm outside as per usual. I did 2 hits as I usually do, treadmill and elliptical. I did try this kind of stair stepper glider thing as well, but having cycled in today, and I really sprinted on the bike today, my quads were burning, so they were really burning just now. I took the time as well to watch some videos on some of the LifeVantage stuff, particularly around NRF2 activation, and I find it really fascinating. I'm going to watch some more over the next couple of days, and I'm going to start posting some of the videos that I'm watching down in the links down there, and also some of the stuff on PH360, because I think you might find it interesting out there. Okay, I'm going to go and have some dinner now. Bye for now. So hi guys, it's about 11 o'clock on the 24th, and the day's coming to an end. It feels significant today that I have got some clarity on how to move forward, which is great, and that really turns us away from a short-term journey into a real long-term thing. That kind of notion of me putting health first. I was saying to Gina, my coach, that I know this year my three big focuses have been business, finance and health, with relationship underpinning those. In the past I've always put things like business and finance, or I've never put health first, and this year it's that realization of my health and my health goals. If I do those, that makes everything else in my life easier, and actually that's the foundation goal, if you like. So I feel really good. I'm sort of getting some clarity on that bigger picture, because I'm a big picture person, so inspiration motivates me far more than detail or habit or that kind of stuff. I mean, we're all different, right? So, and the why is different for all of us. So for me, it's that big picture piece, and that feels significant. I had a really good conversation just as I was getting to the gym tonight with Kevin, who was great, checked in with me. I'm going to catch up with him tomorrow, and I kind of was talking to him about the fact that my wants are shifting. You know, originally I engaged him for powerlifting, for bodybuilding, and I still want to do those things, but actually it's much more of a holistic approach I want to take now, that is to do with optimizing my body. So that means not fighting it, so that's where the lean muscle mass comes in, absolutely. But I want to look at it more holistically now. So that does mean things like stretching, functional movement, flexibility, all that kind of stuff as well. So we're going to have a chat about that tomorrow. So I'm going to go in and see him about 3 o'clock, and hopefully that will move that forward as well. I've also talked to him about the fact that I really want to investigate this as a kind of an extension of my coaching stuff and see where it goes. And essentially, you know, I'm no Tim Ferriss, but there are certain things I want to test out, because, you know, Tim Ferriss is so far out there that a lot of the stuff is not very applicable to everyday life. So I want to make some of that stuff a bit more accessible. So that's what I'm going to be doing I think that's how I'm going to carry on this vlog after August. It's going to be about my journey, but it's also going to be about me experimenting with different things and then reporting what I've got and my learnings and findings. So if there's anything particular that you want to know about or that you have been curious about, then let me know. And if it's something that feels compatible, then it's something I'll look into. And I'm going to be quite transparent in what I do. So there you go. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it for tonight, because it's a long video today. Thank you so much for watching. If you've taken the time to watch all of this, then thank you. Please do share this. This really, for me, is not just about over 40 fat to fit anymore. It's about total health and beginning to realise that we have the technology for us. So do share this. I'm really keen to open dialogue with people around what their health and fitness goals are beyond, you know, lose weight, beyond vanity goals. So please subscribe, share, like, and definitely comment down there. So see you tomorrow. Bye for now.